Good evening. Welcome to a special edition of the Bubba, hanging out with Bubba. It's Friday evening, and I decided, well, since a lot of people aren't really doing any live casts tonight, I'd go ahead and do one. I have with me my friend and partner in crime, Ren. How you doing this evening, Ren?
I'm doing okay, but apparently you want to mess up your show because you want me here.
Yeah, right. oh, oh no, trust me, I could do that real well myself.
Oh,
So,
shit.
but tonight we're actually going to talk about the reasons why we left America.
United States of America, one of the great. Well, I'm gonna correct it because the last time I said it's the greatest country in the world, I got a lot of feedback on that one, saying that no, Australia is, no, Britain is, and so I'm going to correct that right now. What we feel is our greatest country in the world because it's the only country we know.
Exactly. You know,
Yeah, I want to make sure that was clear because the last time, man, I got a lot of flack.
buddy. Yeah, it's you know, oh, we were just talking before we went on, and we were like, oh, what we talk about, and we just kind of came up with the idea. Why don't we talk about why we left America, the U.S.?
Yeah, yeah.
Because people may or may not know the reasons why we left and decided to come here. And I just want to give a shout out to my homeboy Johnny Warrior. He with the sexy moves. Who's in the chat room now?
And he's got the sexy boobs too. You forgot that part.
Got the moves going on, man boobs, the moves. But okay, the reason why I left is okay. I got divorced, and it was finalized in 2015, I think, or was it 14? Man, God, life's a blur anymore. But anyway, when my wife and I separated, I just started looking at other places to go because I couldn't figure out. I knew that things were not getting better in the U.S. Generally speaking, wages, the jobs aren't getting any better, and the wages definitely aren't getting any better. It's just kind of like, unless you're white collar, blue collar wages have been stagnant for God, years and years and years. As a matter of fact, the last year I worked in the U.S., I made the same amount of money as I did 12 years before. So that should give you an idea of how bad things were getting. And, cost of living keeps going up. Jobs aren't paying anymore, but yet it's costing more and more and more to live. And it's funny because a lot of people in other countries think that we're all rich in America. And here's the thing, we're not. Most of us live paycheck to paycheck. If you're able to save a little bit, you're doing good. And a lot of people, in order to save, have to work two jobs usually. And a lot of people now have to work two jobs just to make ends meet. So to pay their bills and all that stuff. Has that been your experience as well, Ren?
It was the same thing. It's like I was telling, like I was telling you, that's why I wish we actually recorded that. I was making pretty good money. You're talking, when I was part of the fire department, you're making about 45 to, it mattered on where you were on your bracket. Were you an engineer? Were you a paramedic, medic and whatnot, or paramedic, what they call it, paramedic search and rescue. But what happens is, well, I got laid off of that, so I had to go with the lesser job, but I was making $23 an hour, which was still pretty damn good. My rent at the time at 2010, it was $600. This is the same apartment I was in. By the time I left the United States, they were trying to push $1,000 for a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, a tiny kitchen. They wanted to push 1,000 on me. It went up every year. Every year it kept going. And when that law passed where there was no like a rent cap, that was it. The landlords just started pumping money. And so when I left, when they gave me that option of taking the 1,000, I said, hell no, I'm out of here. So I told them, you know, I put in my 2 weeks notice and whatnot, and, you know, and I said, I'm getting out. And so I was getting ready to move. And all of a sudden I found out that somebody else was going to move in, and now they were charging them 1,500. That just goes to show the cap, that there was no cap, that they could raise the price on you at any time.
Yeah, it's you know, everybody thinks in America everybody's rich. Yeah, we have cars, we have apartments, and all that stuff. But they don't realize that the more stuff you have, the more you have to worry about losing it. Stress over it.
And see, that's not even counting if you have see me, I own my vehicle. I didn't pay no payments or whatnot. I bought a 19, my last vehicle, I had sold my Dodge Ram, which was a 2010 Dodge Ram. And I went and I bought a 1989 Toyota. I know some people are scratching their head like, what the hell are you going to buy that? No, I love 1989 Toyotas, man. Solid frame, four-wheel drive. You know, you jack that, that fool up, you put it on 35s on the rims, and boom, that was a beast. I love that truck, really did. But so I wasn't paying anything on it, but I was still paying insurance, which was about 250. No, actually, no, sorry. 135 I was paying on that. Water bill, since we're in California, we're in the middle of a drought. Jason can chime in on this one. We're in the middle of a drought. All of a sudden, they put a cap on your water. And if you went above it, people were not taking a lot of showers, because if you went over a certain gallons that they were giving you, you went over that cap, you were paying over $300, $400, $500, even up to $1,000 in water bill. Electricity and gas, and people in America, I know you sympathize with this. This is what you pay, period, on top of your rent. That's not counting food, and your gas. And I was traveling 30 miles, which is about 40 minutes to get to work every night and every morning, coming in and out. So it was costing me about $100+ to fill up my tank.
Wow. Yeah, gas expensive in California. Everything's more expensive in California. It's funny, I lived in South Carolina. I had a massive garden. I had a couple of I had strawberry patch. I had a big old strawberry patch, and I had blueberries and blackberries. And my garden, and I used to water them. And I had chickens, and I used to water them. And I kid you not, my water bill was, it was capped at like $33 for up to, I think it was 15,000 gallons of water. And I think one time my bill was like $40. That was it. So yeah, the water out. California is so freaking expensive. It's ridiculous. But
now it's not a problem. Okay, you want to go expensive. Okay, it is a Silicon Valley, and I'm only speaking for. I don't know how it is in LA. I don't know how it is in Bakersfield, Jason. I don't know. All I know is that we were shipping a lot of water to LA, because LA is basically a desert. Same with Bakersfield and whatnot. I know a lot of our water was going down there, and up north we were paying for it. It was like, okay, we have to support Southern California at the same time, because with the aqueducts and whatnot, we were draining all of our lakes. We had, Lake Visalia, which is practically now a desert. We drained it all the way down to the mud. There is a village that's actually, no, Lake Berryessa is another one. Lake Berryessa, there is a village that we actually, or a town that we actually built a dam, and they moved everybody out, and you don't know the town is down there. Now that town is visible. That's how low the water is. We're draining, all of our lakes just to support Southern California, and us, but there's not enough water because there's not what after 6 years of drought, and anyone in California, in Northern California, will tell you this: how high is your water bill now, and how many showers are you taking? Because it's killing you.
Yeah, it's
And you know what? I don't have a problem. Okay, with we have to all band together and whatnot. But if the wages are not going up, if your wages stay the same but everything else goes up, then now you're drifting slowly into poverty until you can't afford anything. And now if you're paying a car payment or a truck payment or whatnot, this is a killer on you. That's an extra expense.
And personally, I think in times like that, you have to tighten your belt. So you should save water by showering with a couple of hot neighbors. Shower together.
That's why I was hanging out. That's why I was hanging out with that pink poodle all the time. I was taking home strippers, because then you got their shower. I'm kidding.
Yeah, right.
Someone's already sound biting that and going, "Look, see, now we know what Ren was doing."
Yeah. Don't get us wrong. We love our country. If
Exactly. That's what we're talking about, because a lot of people will think that a lot of expats, left their countries because they didn't, they don't, they hate their country or whatever. No, that's not the case. It's just certain things that happen. And I always dictated to my family that, when they used to bitch about the country and the state that it's in. Oh, we don't like Obama. Oh, we don't like, President Bush. Oh, we don't like the position of the country. Look at the government. Look what it's doing. Look at all the citizens are starting to eat each other with these riots and whatnot. But you know what? Hey, conflict will happen. But if you don't like the country, and this is what I used to tell them, then go get a damn plane ticket and get out. Get out. If you don't like the country, get out. And I just practiced what I preached. I just said, man, that's true. I don't like the direction of my country. I don't like President Trump. I just picked up and I left.
You left when Trump was president. You left when Obama was president.
Yeah, he was still president, but look at our choices. We had Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and we had Trump. I don't like any of them. I don't like any of their views. So it was like, man, if I'm left with this, we're screwed. I left.
I like Trump, and the reason why is because I thought, well, if he can bring jobs back, do that, that'll be an improvement. And wages. The big thing is jobs are great, but who the hell wants to work for $8 an hour? We want $25, $30 an hour jobs. We don't want, shitty paying service industry minimum wage jobs. So, but yeah, we love our country. But things were getting better, so we said, you know what, go somewhere else. So that's why we're here. And, I only make a fraction of what I made in the U.S., but I've got a kid, which, I was married before in the States, but my wife couldn't have children. But I got a kid, I got a great woman, and I could never support them. Even in the States, it would have been tough for me to support them on what I was making. And I was doing, compared to most people, I was doing okay. But still, so I'm just happy I'm able to support them. So, and I live in a subdivision.
Well, Gang Cochran just made a good point. People notice that I don't need stuff. They put that in parentheses. Once you experience life in a poor country, don't get me wrong, I love my stuff. And it's true, I do love my stuff. I miss my truck. I miss the things that I had. I miss the things, you lose all that when you come out here because you start living on simple means. But, at the same time, it's like, I didn't have any kids. I wasn't married. I'm not paying alimony. I'm not paying anything. I was just paying for myself. But the prices keep raising. I was in the center of the Silicon Valley, the most expensive place besides San Francisco and LA, that you're paying. And it was like, after a while, I started seeing my money disappear. But I could send money to the Philippines, and it went like 10 times further. And so I was like, man, I need to head out there and see what's going on out there. And
Oh
that's how
yeah,
it all came about.
$2,000 a month here, you're rich.
Hmm.
I mean, you're doing better than 80% of the population here, at least if you're making 2,000 a month or better. Whereas in America, if you're making 2,000 a month, your poverty level, maybe just above it. So it's a lot easier here than it is there. I thought, man, it's going to suck not having a car, but actually, public transportation here is really great. Um,
It really is, yeah.
I mean, because really in the U.S., unless you live in like New York City or someplace like that, public transportation in the U.S. is really, really lacking, big time. So,
They give you schedules, and half the time, if you're taking the bus, I used to take the bus when I was young, and sometimes you've got a bus that goes by and says it's out of service, so you're sitting there for another 30 minutes for another. Here in the Philippines, and again, I'm not glorifying the Philippines. Like I said, I want to keep referring to that, or reminding, I do love my country. I love my country. Man, I wish I could live there. I wish I could. And I could have found another job out there, but it was like I wanted to take a chance out here to see, what I could do out here. Do I plan to go back to the United States? And I know that's a big question, and I think that's a big question on a lot of expats. Yeah, we will. We'll get back there. We love our countries. Just right now, we just try to, I guess, find ourselves. That's basically why we left. It was like you're so used to one thing that you got to try something else out.
yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, that's right, Jason. That is the truth. Yep. If you're lucky. And you know what? That's the garbage part of fucking San Jose. I'm telling you.
Yeah, so tell me about San Jose. A little. I mean, is it generally a relatively nice city, or is it like
When I
or is it like Vatos Locos?
when I was growing up, it was Vaco Locos, man. There was a lot of mafias, a lot of family battles. There was a lot of gangs. I was raised on the east side when I came out of Texas. There was a lot going on. A lot of gunshots, everything. I mean, it was bad. If anyone tells you story in King, they will sit there and cringe because it used to be that bad back in the day. But now they tore down all the old buildings. They tore down all the old projects. They tore down all the old and they rebuilt and actually San Jose actually like put plugged in palm trees and made it a very beautiful city. But now the taxpayers are paying for it. Prices went up.
Oh
That's when
yeah,
that's when they cut off the cap on the rent.
unreal. Well, we got Graham on with us. How are you this evening, Graham?
I'm good, fellas. I'm good.
Good. How's life treating you, man?
Life.
A lot. That's a broad statement, but I agree.
But life's life, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so now you live in
What do you want me to say?
life's tough, man.
I will tell
So
you folks one
where are
thing.
you living at, Graham?
What you're talking about, it's not about America. It's about the West. Because it's everywhere. The same problems that you're talking about in general, they're everywhere.
Okay. All right, let's get your perspective. Good. We got a conversation going. Where are you from?
Graham, you there?
Maybe he's got a problem with his mic like I do.
He might.
I do?
There you are, Graham.
Yeah, we hear you now. So tell us about.
When I was
Now you're from Australia, right?
yeah,
Okay. So what's it? You said it's the same in Australia as it is, I guess, in the U.S. and a lot of other places.
well, you think about it this way. When my parents had a young family, Dad went to work and Mum stayed home, and
Yeah.
we had plenty of whatever it was that we needed. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You fast forward to when I had a young family, and everybody and his dog kept telling me, "Get her to work. She's got to work. Go to work." And I struggled for a long, long time, and I probably worked for our first 25 years before she got a job, and it, it wasn't because that's what we wanted. We had no choice.
Mm-hmm.
So, so over time, things have changed, and that's a Western problem. It's not, it wasn't exclusive to where I am. It's all over the place, and now even two people working, it's no longer enough.
Yeah, it's
I would have to agree. When I was younger in the 70s, in the late 70s, uh, my mom stayed home, and then my dad was the one that went to work. He was a general contractor, and that was enough. And we moved from one house, and he owned all of his houses. He never rented. He actually owned. He actually went and bought houses, and then he went and we moved from one part of East Side to the second East Side after we moved out of Texas. And so we moved to the far East Side, but he actually got a house that was up on a hill, which is like the more richer part. But then after a while, I started noticing my mom wasn't home anymore. And I started asking what's going on, and that she had to work because my dad couldn't really afford, the two cars that we had now, the house that we had, the rent, the property tax. There was a bunch of stuff that got added, it just got tougher.
Well,
yeah.
that's how life has become in the West, and it's just grown exponentially. And what happens is, um, who benefits from that, right? Because that family is still living the same, right? It's living the same as what it was, in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. The quality of life didn't change, but you had to add that extra income to keep up. So who got the money? Where did it go?
And that's a good question because a lot of, or at least our government would, say it went into healthcare. Well, as you know, not all Americans have healthcare until Obamacare came, and then all of a sudden that was a disaster. But hey, let's go back. So there was no healthcare; you had to go pay for it, unless your job provided it, and even still, it came out of your check. And the roads, they say, well, it's for the roads, registration for your car, registration for this, registration for that, your license, your this, that, all that's going to the roads. The roads started turning into shit. And so you started like, scratching your head and going like, well, okay, gas tax, okay, registration for your vehicle, insurance, and also all this stuff that they were saying is going to the roads wasn't going there. It wasn't until 1992 when we finally challenged the government and saying, or our governor, where's the money going to in California to fix our roads? That was just one example, and they couldn't answer it.
And again, that's the same around the world. The English people have the same issue, or British. Canadians have the same issue. See, once the pot gets so big, right, the tax pot, once it gets so big, you can skim a little bit off, and nobody's going to notice. We'll just funnel a little bit this way, a little bit that way, and next thing your country's paying for all kinds of crap that nobody ever asked for, but they're missing out on the main things. I mean, you're talking about healthcare. For Christ's sake, of course it should be free. Of course it should be free.
Canada's
You
got
know,
it right.
and the
You know,
government.
Canada, France, government. You know, why are these other countries getting it right? But yet our countries, you got to pay for it, and it's got to be a second Medicare.
Well, here's the thing. It's not a healthcare problem in the U.S. It's a healthcare billing problem.
Mm.
That is the issue because, okay, if you go to the emergency room, okay, and your bill is $2,000, they'll tell you then and there, if you pay in cash today, we'll charge you $1,200. But if we have to file it with the insurance company, we're going to tack on another $800, which it's a racket. When you think about it, it's almost like buy here, pay here. You know, you go to a place and buy a car because your credit sucks, and you have to pay them. You know, you have to pay like a ridiculous interest rate, but you have to go back every week and make payments, and that's almost what the healthcare billing system's like.
And that's what's funny. If you can't afford it before, how could you afford it again by raising, you know, your price, you know, on your interest rate?
Yeah,
I never got that.
I don't either, man. I tell you what, if I could turn back time, I'd have gotten the car business, man. I'd have opened up some buy here. But the thing about that is that you got people on their last leg, and all you're doing is kicking out that last leg out from underneath them. In most cases.
I agree. I agree with that. That was the term I was always thinking about back in the 90s when I screwed up with, you know, with my credit cards because I was young and dumb, you know, and I was thinking, okay, so I go and get another credit card, but let's go ahead and raise the interest rate, you know, when I couldn't pay for, you know, before. Why would you raise it?
Oh, exactly. And credit card companies hate people who pay their bill within 30 days because they're not making money on you. It's basically
You're
free
paying
money.
off, yeah, because the interest drops.
Yep. Yeah, they hate that. So Graeme,
Is that what happens? Is that what happens in America? Because over here, if you don't pay your utility bills on time, that's exactly what they do. They charge you extra interest. So the poor bastard that couldn't afford to pay on time gets slugged with extra, and then it's, you know what I mean. How does he, like Red said, how if he can't make it in the first place, how the fuck is he supposed to pay the extra? But that's how it is these days, you know.
Yeah.
It is that way. See, what it is okay, let's say you go and buy $70 worth of a shoe. You know, you went and go buy a pair of shoes and you use your credit card for $70. You want to build your credit. So you buy it for $70, use your card. But within 3 days, you go and pay off $70 off that credit card. It doesn't build your credit. It won't show up right away because, you know, because see, that's how they penalize you, because either way you're paying off your credit card, you're not building an interest rate to show that, you know, you're able to make payments. Somehow I don't know if it's still the same because I don't use credit cards anymore, but I remember that it used to be that you had to pay the payment. So you would pay like $15, you know, for the $70. You would pay $15 every month until you paid it off. And then that's what would build your credit. So you would have to pay the bank that, you know, interest rate that they gave you.
And see, that's the con, right? That is the con.
It is. Think about it.
Build credit. But hang on. Think about what you just said. Build your credit rating. Why? Why do you need a fucking credit rating? You only need a credit rating if you want to give the banks money. Okay, if you're smart and you save a little bit of money here and there, and you buy your shoes and you buy this and that, even a car, whatever it is, and you pay cash, those cunts can't get any of your fucking money. Of building a credit rating, it's a con.
Yeah, the problem is the only problem that falls in is if you want to buy a house, because houses are so expensive.
Yeah.
But outside of wanting to buy a house, really, there's no reason to have credit when you think about it.
That's right. That's right.
I mean,
that's right. If you can't afford a new car, buy a fucking second-hand car.
Yeah, that's what I always bought used. You know.
Well, I always buy new, but I'm in a position to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And for me, I see value in buying new, but When I see somebody, scraping their ass on the bottom, and they're trying to keep up with the Joneses and buy new, that's nuts. It's crazy.
Oh, it is. People go into debt and stay in debt.
Well, where's the end of the debt? Of that debt. It never ends. My oldest boy is he's 37, and he spent from I think 17 to 25 paying off debt, and he worked 6 days a week, for all that time just to pay off fucking stupid debt. He bought a car on credit, he bought furniture on credit, he bought big ass TV on credit, he bought all sorts of shit, and it took him all that time to wake up to, you don't need the fucking world's biggest TV. You don't need the flashiest car. You don't, all this stuff, you just don't need it. So then from the age of 25 to 30, he was debt free and he's just saved money. And today, he bought a house because he got out of the debt cycle.
Yeah. So tell me, in Australia, do you have something like the Federal Reserve system?
Sort of. You mean it dictates interest rates and all that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that, and
basically fiat
but
currency.
At the end of the day, people feel or think that
I like to get a. I like to get
it's
a
not the
third.
nations, it's the banks.
There's a guy here named Gary.
Jerry.
Yeah, he's talking about that. I am wrong. Like I said, I haven't had a credit card in 30 years. I know I had Capital One. That was my first credit card ever before I got B of A. And this was back in, early 90s. I would say 1991 when I had a credit card. And I know that's what they told me, that I had to pay off, little by little to build my credit to prove I could, but he's challenging me. He's telling me that's not how it works. But, I'm talking about 1990. So if he's talking about, 2017, I don't know how it works.
Another thing you could do too is smart thing too is what I did for a while is I just had a prepaid credit card. I just went to Walmart and picked up one and I put like $500 on it. And every payday I would put like $20 or $30 on it. But eventually I had like over $1,500 on it, and then I had an emergency, but I had the money because I had that, and I also had money in savings too, but I didn't have to clean out my savings. That was nice. But
yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I never had. Like I said, I always paid everything cash after that, and I had first bad experience with the credit card, and I was like, "Woo, they ain't doing that no more." So I stayed away from credit cards. So, but I'd like to get Gary's opinion on it, and what he knows. He's probably 10 times smarter than all of us how it works because we stay away from credit cards now. Maybe he has 3, 4. Maybe he has a gold card. I don't know. Maybe he knows better.
Yeah, Gary's probably got very good credit, but
yeah,
he's kind of a finance guy too. So
yeah.
Okay.
That's what I said. I don't want to misguide anybody or give, misinformation. So if Gary wants to challenge me, hey, I'll shut up and let him speak.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and send him the link. I always send the link on Facebook. And the reason why is because this way people don't have to worry about people jumping on.
Okay.
Okay, hold on a second. There we go.
Well, when it comes to the whole money deal, of course there's a way. But the average Joe doesn't know the fucking way. Right? If you're in finance, well then, that's your deal and you know that. But, for the average guy, he doesn't know. So You can't find your way when you don't bloody know what the go is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was young and dumb back in the '90s, man. Fucking, you
Hey
talking,
guys,
1990. Hey Gary,
how you
what's
doing?
up, buddy?
Hey, Gary,
Can you
how
guys
are
hear
you?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear
Good.
you.
Can you guys hear me?
All right,
Yeah.
Hey, good
you
topic.
got the floor.
Hey, good topic. Yeah, there's a big misconception about credit here, and let me tell you how it works. In the United States, if you don't have good credit, you can't do shit. Okay, it's a
Hmm.
credit society.
Hmm.
Now and there's three main credit reporting agencies. One being Equifax, the other one
Yep.
is I think it's called
Tra- Transamerica.
Experience,
It's
something
like
like that. And then
TransUnion or something.
TransUnion, I
And they
think
go through
TransUnion is
all
the
three
most
of them.
popular.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Uh, and what it is nowadays, even if you buy car insurance, in the old days, they used to look at your driving record to give you the rate of what they're going to charge you.
that's true. Yep.
That no longer exists. They base your rate. Now, part of it is on your driving experience, on your driving, if you got tickets and stuff, but also on your credit record. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. The
Really?
Yeah,
shittier the credit record
they
you have,
do.
the higher they're going to charge you.
That
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense, Gary.
It doesn't, but that's the scam. That's how they're making extra money. They figure people with shittier credit records are not good they don't have good payment history or are considered a higher risk. Has nothing to do with how you drive. But that's part of the equation when they figure out how much what your premium is going to be. I swear to God, that's how, and it's been like that for at least probably the last 10 years.
See, I
So in
didn't
the
know
old
that.
days,
Yeah, because I always
yeah.
had I always had my same insurance, so they never changed the premium. You know what I mean? They never looked at my
Well,
shit.
yeah, but you know what? When you jump, what I do is, like for example, I've got clean driving record. I haven't had a ticket in probably 30, 35 years. But what they do is, I'll stick with a certain insurance company on my car. Once they start raising the rates, and again, they raise the rates based upon each state is different. If these insurance companies have like a lot of losses in a certain state, the rates are going to be higher in that state.
Yeah,
If they have less
they
losses in
go
another,
by one of the
rates
equations.
are going to go.
One of the equations is they go by what zip code you live in.
Well, yeah, that's part of it too. Yeah, yeah. So what I do is I'm always shopping around. I shop to four companies, and just come in with the exact same coverage. Ask, and then whoever gives me the cheapest rate, that's what I go for. And so I'm always continually changing every couple, 2, 3 years because they're gonna raise the rate whether you have accidents or not, little by little.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
just
yeah.
dump them. And I just dump them. But going back to these credit agencies,
Yeah,
here's
trade
how it
agent.
works. Yeah, if you have under a 700 score, okay, because
Yeah.
nowadays you can get up to about 850, okay, but if you have under 700, that is considered not good at all, okay. Now I'm going to give you a quick example. The more credit you
678. That's
have,
where I was. Yeah, and they drilled me. Hmm.
yeah, so keep this in mind. The more credit you have, the lower your credit rating is going to be. And so it's kind of like the opposite of what you just said, Ren. And here's the reason why. Because, for example, let's just say, I mean, for me, I've got 2 credit cards. Plain, that's all I have. But I pay cash at the end of every month, and it keeps my credit rating high. Now, yeah, the banks didn't make any money off of me, and I'm actually using their money for free to buy my stuff and collect points on these credit cards and all that. But that's besides the point. So let me give you a quick example. When I sold my last condo, I had a mortgage on it, right? So the higher the debt, they look at that debt to cash ratio. The higher debt you have, the lower your credit rating's going to be. So even though I had a clear credit card, rating, like I paid all my cards off on time and all that, I had no debt on the cards. But because I had that mortgage debt was at the time, I think it was only about 100 and something thousand on the books, my credit went down. The minute you buy a house, bam, your credit's going to take about a good 60 to 80 point hit on the downside. Now, the minute I sold, and throughout the whole time that I had my property, the credit rating was just coming up just slightly a couple points, because as I'm paying my credit down, okay, my mortgage down, the credit rating, that means I'm less in debt, so my credit rating starts to sneak up. But the minute you sell your property, and you don't have that debt on your credit anymore, my credit rating, because it went down to about 720 from about 800, 805. It went down to 720 when I bought that property, and now it spiked the minute I did the closing. Within 20, usually they report it within 3 weeks after that, within about a month after you clear that
That is
debt.
true. When I sold my Dodge Ram, my credit rating went up because I was no longer paying the payments on it. Yeah, and I only had one more year.
You paid it
I
off.
only had one more year to pay on it. I was paying for 6 years, and yeah,
So, right. It's how it works. The minute I paid that mortgage off, my credit rating within that next 30 days, because it takes about 3 weeks to report it, in the next cycle of where the banks report to the credit agencies that, hey, this debt is paid off. My credit rating jumped up by about 100 points. You know what I mean? My credit number jumped up so back above 800, and then now I'm around 830. You know what I mean? So again, more debt you have, the less of the lower your credit rating is going to be. The less debt you have, the higher the rating is going to be. And again, you got to have good credit rating in the U.S. or else you can't do anything. And here's a free website if you guys ever want to check your credit rating. It's for free. It's called Credit Karma.
Oh, I'm punching that in right now.
Yeah, Credit Karma. Yeah, it's really good. It's a free site. It's very legitimate. You just put in, you set up a little account. It's really easy to password and all that. You put in your Social Security number, and all your information pops up there, and you can just check it once a month. And it'll give you the three. I think it just gives you one. I think it was a TransUnion. I don't think it'll list all three agencies on there, but it might list two. I can't remember because I just don't do it anymore. I don't really need to. But you just go there once a month and just punch in your password, and it'll just give you a rating from month to month, and then it'll even show you how much debt you got on each credit card, that kind of stuff. And if you have had any soft hits on your credit, if you applied for something, you got a hit on your credit, because every time you apply for a credit card or something like that, or you open up something, you get it's called a soft hit or a hard hit. A soft hit is if you apply for, like, I don't know, T-Mobile, like a new phone or something. T-Mobile is going to check your credit, but it's called a soft hit. It doesn't go against your credit rating, because every time you get a hard hit, meaning that somebody really checks out your credit because you're buying a mortgage or something, then you're going to lose a few points against your credit rating. It's called a hard hit. I think that's what they call it. But yeah, just check out Credit Karma. It's really safe. It's a very secure website. And once a month, you can go on there, or once every 6 months, whatever you want. And then just check out where your credit score stands at. And it's very accurate, very accurate.
Yeah, I'm not even going to bother checking mine.
Oh shit! I haven't had a credit card. I always pay everything in cash now. Since way back.
In the Philippines, guys, it's a cash society. Don't even bring your credit cards out. The only time you want to use your credit card in the Philippines, again, this is what I see because I don't live in the Philippines full time right now, is if you're buying a plane ticket, you're going online, you're paying for a plane ticket, or you're actually at a mall, maybe they might take the card. But even if you go to a mall to buy some, just bring the cash. Don't even put your credit card out there because they can get hacked really easy out there. That's from my understanding. Again, it's what I hear.
Yeah, they call them skimmers. That's the term.
Yeah. Hey, I'll let you guys go because I got to get back to work here. I'm at the office.
All right, Jerry. Thank you, man. I wanted to
thank you, Jerry. I want to work too hard.
Your opinion.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. No problem.
You're welcome.
Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you too. Bye-bye. Okay, there you have it. Yeah, it's funny how the world's economy is built on debt. Debt fuels it. Credit cards is a prime example. Interest rates. If you can't do anything, they're making it to where you're going to have credit and be in debt, or, what few people who aren't in debt are generally doing pretty good. But they have it built to where you almost have to be in debt in order to survive, which sucks. It's a scam.
but I think the scam is the belief.
I'm sure we all agree, but I'm glad that we have an
Exactly.
An Aussie here that actually is talking about his country as well, about where it's at, and but it all stems to how we ended up in the Philippines. We just, hey man, it just goes a little bit further. That's why we're here. Not that
Yeah.
that's not like we dislike our country or we hate it. It's nowhere near there. It's just we don't like where it's going as far as hey, if our president actually does something great in America, I'll return. I will, but I just don't see that. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that because I got a lot of Trump lovers and go, oh no, he said something about Trump. You know what, come on, he's been in office for what, 7-8 months now. All I'm reading is terrible reports, and when I talk to my family, nothing has really changed. He's still concentrating on things that are not important, and he's just too concentrated on his tweets. And he's tweeting people in the own White House. It's like, damn, why can't you call him into the office? You're the president of the United States, for God's sakes. You can call him into your office and talk to him. Why do you got to tweet them while they're in their bedroom?
Yes. Tweet somebody, you're fired. Don't bother coming in today. You're fired.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's, I hope it gets better. I really do, but I don't see it. So, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I hope the Western world, yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, come on. I mean, really, do we have to march on every single capital, in the Western world to let them know? It's like, what, you want to keep us down? Raise the, even the minimum wage. Give the teenagers a chance, even to make it with, the prices that are going up. Put a cap on the on rent. Why not put a cap on it?
Some places do, like they can only raise it by so much, like by a certain percentage.
Not in Northern California. From what when I left, the cap was gone, and the prices skyrocketed. I mean, even for a dump. I mean, you're talking about worse than where I live. For a dump, you're paying freaking $2,000, dollars USD.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know, man. Hopefully
It's sad. It's sad when In-N-Out Burger, and I know some of you guys in Los Angeles know what In-N-Out Burger is paying. At the time when I left, they were paying like $9.50, just to flip burgers. That's a high wage, because at the time when I left, it was $7.50 minimum wage.
Yeah. Yeah, minimum wage. Oh boy.
And they had just raised it. It was $7.50. Okay, let's times that. Okay, over a month. If you got 40 hours a week, which none of them did, they would get 20 hours. Or no, 24 hours. Yeah, that was the minimum that they would hire you as part-time. There's no way you could pay for an apartment on your own.
No. So, Graham, what's the minimum wage here in Australia?
I think it's about $16 or $17 an hour.
How much?
About 16 or 17 bucks an hour.
16 or 17 bucks an hour?
Yeah, so somebody in McDonald's would earn that.
Okay, now how much is it to like rent like just a bottom line apartment, 1-bedroom apartment, like a studio?
Well, we don't have a lot of studio apartments.
Okay.
They exist, but we don't have a lot of that. We don't have a lot of that. Well, let me explain a couple of things. Right? Number one, $1 Australian is worth 75 US cents. Okay, so if I say $16, $17, you kind of got to cut that down by a quarter to make it relevant to you guys. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. The exchange rate.
Yeah, so $10 Australian is $7.50 American. All right, that's roughly round about, you know, the exchange rate. That's number one. Number two is that most of the capital cities in Australia are very, very expensive. They're extremely expensive. So for a guy who worked, and Ben's right, you know, say McDonald's worker probably only gets 25 hours a week. There's no way that he can afford to move out of mum's house. There's no way that he can afford that.
Oh wow. Yeah, 17 Australian dollars is $13.60.
That's probably
Wow.
about right. Yeah, something like that.
In US money. I just Googled it, and that's what it's saying. So
But the average rent is about $450 a week.
450 a week.
Yeah.
Wow. Because they don't give you the hours.
Well, if you don't get the hours, you're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that
look,
sounds
but
about
look,
like the US.
yeah, but look, you're talking about a McDonald's worker, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure any parent aspires their kid to want to work at fucking McDonald's. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to take that up a notch or two rather than deal with the minimum and the bottom. So if we're looking at a mechanic, for example, he's probably on $35 an hour. If you're looking at a construction tradesman, so not a labourer, somebody who's got a trade, a carpenter, a bricklayer, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's probably on $45 an hour. So how it works is the more educated you are, and this has got to be the same where you guys come from as well. The more educated you are, the better off you are. So the key is get a fucking education of some kind.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a shame, man. You know, it boggles the mind how the Western world is, you know, Europe, you know, Canada, America, and Australia, they're all going down the tubes one way or another. At least I heard in Europe, because it's so socialized, that people can usually easily afford to rent a place, but you get taxed to death too. And a lot of people don't work because they're lazy in Europe, and because they don't work, it's the people who are working are actually trying to make it are actually the ones who are end up paying for the lazy ones who don't want to do anything. You know, it's the same in our country too. The U.S. I'm sure. Is it like that in Australia too?
Yeah, we've got a system. How do you call it? Well, here it's referred to as an adult. Okay, and I think the Pommies call it the same thing. And it's basically a social security. And our social security is very different to American social security. Because as far as I'm aware, you guys pay into your social security.
Mm-hmm.
And in Australia, you don't pay into social security. So you don't have an account. What it means is you can leave school at, say, 18 years of age, get a job for 6 months, and then live the rest of your life on social security. And guess who pays for that?
The taxpayer.
Exactly, everybody else. And unfortunately, our social security payments nationwide are about equal to our country's debt. So we're borrowing money as a country. We're borrowing money to pay for this bullshit.
Yeah, it sounds like America. Sounds just like America.
Well, that's what I was trying to say earlier about, you know, these problems that you were referring to earlier are not just American problems. They're problems throughout the West. And at the end of the day, it's that social justice bullshit that, you know, if you don't want to work, that's okay. We'll look after you. that dribble, it's draining everybody.
Uh, 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 uh.
Oh, that's another thing. West CW. He just said they can fire you whenever they want. Well, no, not if you're union. If you're union, you're pretty safe because they'll fight for you. But they take a
America,
wage. They take a wage out of your check, which is about $55 out of your, and that's what I was getting charged anyway. $55 every month out of your check. So if you're only making, if you're at 24 hours and you're barely making it, let's say you actually rented a room in someone's house, and then all of a sudden that date comes where they take that 55 out, that's a big hit. And I've seen a lot of people fucking, freak out about that.
yeah, he's right. Factory jobs in America are through temp agency. I actually watched a documentary on YouTube. They were talking about that, and they were actually talking about temp agencies in Chicago. How a lot of businesses that are outside of Chicago hire temps, and a lot of them are illegal immigrants,
Yeah.
and they drive them out of a van in Chicago, and they take advantage of them because they know, they're there illegally, so they can't run and scream, complain about it or file a complaint with the FTC or the Department of Labor. So, it's really sad. And, if somebody gets injured on the job,
They got no medical because they're
yeah,
temps.
well, yeah, exactly. And so it's kind of like the factory says, well, they're not our employees. And the temp agency says, well, they're really not our employees either. We're lending them to you. Basically, instead of selling cigarettes, they're selling humans, people's labor.
Hey, slavery is back, just underneath another term. I believe that somebody said that earlier in the vlog, up on top, in the comments, slavery has not left, it hasn't. It's just underneath a different term.
Yeah, it's economic slavery, is what it is. So, yeah, it ain't getting any better. It ain't getting any better, people.
But bottom line of this whole entire talk show, it's not slandering the countries and whatnot that we're from. It's just revealing why we're upset, what bothers us, and what's in our minds of what we experience out there. And you guys are there. Some of you guys are still living out there, and I love your comments that you guys are busting out there because you guys are basically reinforcing what we believe. We're just wondering, has it gotten better? Do you see a change with the new presidents or the governments that we have in our countries, or is it still money grubbing, deal and kick the last leg that you have underneath you?
Yeah, the problem is when you try to change anything, man, there's so much bureaucracy. And the bureaucracy is built to only empower itself and to increase. So, you hungry, sweetheart?
Yes. Yeah, I am actually. Can I have grilled cheese sandwich, please?
Yeah. Okay. Telling me to get out of the way. I'm in the kitchen. Sure, coming right up. So, well, there was a soup there, and I put a can of sardines in it. But the problem is, she likes sardines, but the problem is they're really spicy. They're hot. So she can't have them because she's nursing the baby. For obvious reasons, he'll really be screaming. So, but yeah, anybody stuck? I know a couple people who really want to get out, but it's really tough because of the wages and stuff. I think the best suggestion I can make is try to work 2 or 3 jobs for like a year, 2 years. And yeah, it'll suck, but at the end of that year, you'll have money saved and you'll be able to get out. So,
Get out of where?
Wherever you want to go. Find a country you find a country you think you'll like and go visit it. You know, get like and what I did is I got an 86-day plane ticket here, round trip ticket. So I figured that would give me almost 3 months. If I didn't like it, I'd go back home. If I did, I would stay. So that's really what I would suggest.
Yeah,
I heard one guy give good advice about going to Taiwan. It's cheap, and you can start a business there. You know, I don't know how viable that information is. I never been to Taiwan myself, but I heard it in many blogs that Taiwan is actually a good place. There's certain places in the Philippines that you could come out here and do something. Here you got to pay off a lot of people and whatnot, you know, just to make sure your business is safe. But I mean, what's paying off? Paying off 500 pesos a month, you know, that's what? How much is that translated? Like $2, you know, USD. I mean, it goes to show how far your money will go. You know, paying off people. When you hear paying off, you're thinking, oh, $200, $500 USD. No, 200, 500 pesos, $2, $6. You know, and they stay quiet. They leave you alone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man. Things are tough all over. That Cheech and Chong movie.
Oh, they're talking about me again. They call me Cheech. I think that's what he's referring to.
That's funny.
Hey, I stopped smoking joints back in 1995. So.
God, I can't
Hey,
remember.
Red, can I tell you something?
I can't even remember.
You know all these knockers that you've got? Right, all the people that want to bag you all the time, all those sort of people, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Which one are you talking about? Which one are they bagging me on?
About, it doesn't matter what they're bagging you about. They're bagging you about something, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
They don't bag you about the girl that you sleep with every night, do
they? To me, it really doesn't bother me what they bag me on, you know, because it always starts off this way. It always does, and it is another good topic, you know, about, you know, these trolls that try to bag you, because they always start off with, I have evidence. I have evidence that Ren is doing this. I have evidence, you know, evidence that Ren is talking about this. I have evidence that Ren is putting this out there. I have evidence. But then when you go to other talk shows and then they're on those talk shows, it's, I think Ren is doing this.
Exactly.
I think Ren is doing, I think Ren is making his money by doing this. And it's like, I'm still waiting for your evidence, because I challenge him. I always type to him. I said, give it to me. Where's your screenshots? Where's your emails? Where's the pictures? Where's your evidence? Go ahead. I go, don't do a little cheesy snippet of my videos and use my videos and put it out there and say, I got the evidence because he said this. I'm sorry. I said it from day one. I'm entertainment. I could say right now, hey guys, I murdered 50 people because that's what I did in the United States. That's how I made my money. But unless, you know, you can go ahead and report me to NBI, you can go ahead and report me to, you know, United States, you know, federal, you know, the whole 9 yards. And where's the proof? They won't find it because I lied. There's no proof. So that's what I tell them. Find the proof. Go. Look me up. Look up my name. Go ahead. Look that I did a felony out here. I've been called a pedophile. I've been called a this, that. I'm selling porn. Oh, I heard it all. But it's like, where's the proof? But why did your guys' statement change from I have proof to I think that's what Ren is doing? It doesn't make any sense.
But here's the question: are you selling good porn? because it doesn't count unless you're selling
This is
good.
this is gonna be a soundbite, but yeah, because if I was, let me tell you something. It'd be on Pornhub. It would be on the top of the line. All the websites out there that I know damn well are good because you know what? I love my porn websites. I got to fucking watch them. I got to see what's coming up next. So tell me something. If I had something high quality and and I was going to take the chance to make money, that's where it would be. So guys, go out there and search it because I know you guys already looked for it. If you see Trixie on there, or you see my face, or you hear my voice, there, you got your proof. Other than that, they got nothing.
Yeah.
See, that's a difficult thing, right? If you guys are living in, people want to call it an emerging country. Well, that's just another name or a new name for a third world country. If you
Yeah.
want to make money in a third world country, that's not an easy task. That is not an easy task at all. You can't it's very extremely difficult. There's millions of people that live in that country that can't give it a good crack. So, what's the difference between what you're trying to do and what they're trying to do? Because they're all trying to have a go just as much as you are. The only difference is that you've got a different experience.
Well, my thing is, it's like, why is everybody so concerned about everybody's finances? Because if you're surviving and if you got a roof over your head and how you're doing it, it's like you wish you were doing it my way. You wish you knew what I knew. It's like I would wonder, hey, great Supreme Leader, which I know how he's doing it now, but great Supreme Leader, it's like, how's Bubba doing it? How are you doing it? You know what I mean? It's like, but how you're doing it, it's like, it's your business, and damn, I got thumbs up for you, buddy. Damn, you figured it out. It's like, if it's porn, if it's, sending pictures out, if it's, whatever. I'm not saying that I'm doing it again. I know this is a soundbite, but what does it matter to you or anyone else how this guy is making it? It's like, are you jealous? Are you pissed? Are you fucking that mad that you didn't come up with the ideal yourself?
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm thinking about maybe eventually I'd like to open up a pizza place and do naked pizza delivery.
see, but then again, you're going to get somebody that's against the law. If you look at Section 35861 of the law of the United States, you are not allowed. These are the things I get. These are the comments I get. And it's like, it makes me laugh. I mean, I got one guy quoted a law that I was not allowed to look at cockfighting. When the roosters are going at each other and killing each other, it is against the law. Well, I've already looked it up. It's not against the law. That was a wrong statement. No, you can. You're just not allowed to post it. But he claimed that he talked to a federal law agent that is a lawyer in the United States government that said I could be arrested for saying it. But see, these are the guys that are so tedious that they're willing to knock down a fellow American or a fellow Australian or any kind of Britain or Canada or anyone who's in this country trying to make money. They're quick to knock you down. But yet they're in the safety of their own country when we're taking a chance out here in the Philippines.
Well, Top's hit the nail on the head, right? If you can work out how to earn a living, and when you're scraping by, or whether it's a good living or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's your own business as long as you're not bothering anybody. That's exactly right, Top. Exactly right.
Yeah, because they don't have the balls to do anything, but they're quick to sit there and watch your vlogs and go, oh, look what he just said. Oh, look at that. It's like, you know what? You can't even leave the safety of your own house. You go to work, you come home, you're lucky if you get any kind of sex from your wife because you don't even want to. But yet you can sit online all day long and criticize people that are actually doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's how a person makes money is their own business. Now I can see if somebody's out there, you know, I won't say any names, but I know there's people who, if people are just out there asking for money all the time,
Yeah.
and, you know, asking for free money, but they're not going into detail why they need it. They're not going into detail, you know. I would just think somebody is just lazy, doesn't want to work. Because, you know, it's tough because, you know, obviously we can't go out and get a job as a carpenter here. I mean, we know this, and if we, even if we could, we wouldn't make what we make in the U.S. That's for sure. And I lost my train of thought. And so we know,
No,
we know that we have to come up with ulterior ways to make money, alternative ways to make money. You have to think outside of the box because things work different here than they do in the U.S.
that's right. Well, this is what this guy said. You're a U.S. citizen, and you still have to obey the laws of the U.S. citizens, and you're not allowed to go to cockfighting. You're not allowed to post the pictures that you're posting of Chixie. And I was like, what am I posting of Chixie? And he just went on about, I talked to a lawyer, and what you're doing is 100% illegal, and you're about to be arrested, and there's agents out there that'll get you, and this and that. But once I told him, I go, look, my channel is entertainment. Like I said, I could tell you that I was an assassin and I kill people, and that's why I'm here in the Philippines. But still, it's a democracy. You still have to go to, to court and whatnot. If there has to be proof. There has to be proof that I was in a certain area. There has to be pictures. There has to be bloodlines. There has to be DNA. There has to be, so I can say whatever the hell I want to say on my channel. So you guys are gonna sit there and isolate every little sound bite that I say and make a video on it and say this is the proof. Man, then a lot of people would be arrested.
Oh yeah, by far. So yeah, it's just amazing. That's one thing about I've noticed about YouTube is all the crappy drama and all this. I mean, yeah, for a while it's funny, but eventually, man, it grows old.
It gets ridiculous. It gets ridiculous, especially when people are actually throwing laws at you, and you're like, and laws that don't even exist. You're like, really? Come on, man. Did you really spend that much time to really go through it and go, oh, I just saw what Bubba just said. Okay, let me look this up. Okay, I'm going to go through this. Okay, and then spend a couple hours looking at all the laws and go, oh, Bubba, did you know that you spoke against the law? You're an American, right? Okay, here's the law. It's like, what a waste of time. That means you're not getting anything. You're not getting any pussy. Because I spend my time, just entertaining myself, being on, internet and being here. Then after I'm done with this, guess what? I shut it down and got a naked girl in my bed,
Yeah, it's the only U.S. laws we have to obey are really just the U.S. tax laws and the sex crimes.
Sex crimes. Yeah.
If you sleep with a girl under the age of 18, no matter what country, even if it's legal in that country that you're in,
yeah,
United States will prosecute you. So that's, and other than that, that's it. So
I just laugh at some of these allegations. I just like how they switch from one thing to where they say they have proof to I think. It's like, how do you go from one thing to another?
yeah, it's some of the stuff.
And I'm still waiting for proof. I always told them, I go, say it, because I know nothing's out there. Go ahead. I know I'm not doing anything illegal. Go ahead, prove it. But they can't. I've been waiting now 2 weeks. I've been waiting 2 weeks for this now. And they're like, oh, it's coming, Ren. I go, hey, but just do me a favor. Don't just cut my video up and take sound bites and think that that's all real, you know, because in the end, people want to see the proof. They want to see, you know, actual conversation. They want to see Skype conversation. They want to see YouTube conversation. They want to see pictures. They want to see all the things that prove that that's what I did. Not, you know, because I was just talking shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like left. Yeah, I'm doing the editing now for the
For my
information.
video.
Yeah, for your video. And I actually put Graham. I just put your first name on here.
That's all right. You put whatever you want.
Okay.
See, I'm not frightened of being honest, and I'm not frightened of being, you know, you
Graham,
get all
exactly.
these people
We're just paying the bills, man.
with all those funny nicknames or whatever you want to call it. I can't fathom that. I've got nothing to hide. I've never had anything to hide. You can Google me, and you'll find a picture of me. You'll find what I do for a living, and you'll find the company that I own, and you'll find whatever it is that you want to find. That's I don't give a fucking rat's ass, because guess what? You can't do anything to me. That's how it is. So when you rave on about all these people that are saying this and saying that, they can't do anything to you. I wouldn't be bothered, mate. I wouldn't be bothered at all.
Oh, I'm not. It's just that, you know, all these, well, actually, there's one hate channel that just came up, and it's like, you know, attacking my friends. I can care less if they attack me. I didn't serve in the military, you know.
Yeah, of course it gets under your skin. It gets under your skin. I'm not saying it doesn't get under your skin. Of course it gets under your skin. But you just got to look at it for what it is, right? They're just fucktards, right? They're poor, pathetic fucktards, you know? So don't worry about them. The other night, I think both of you guys were on a show where the truth belted the shit out of all the wankers. And I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. So,
Yeah.
the truth will always win.
That's right.
It just does, you know.
Jason said
That's just
that.
my opinion.
Yeah, Jason said, you know what, just hold back. Just hold back. The truth will prevail. It will come out. You know, just like the guy that we were talking about earlier, you know, e-begging and whatnot. The truth will come out. You know, it always does. You find out, you know, his videos are not what they seem. He's still in a bad position. He's still looking for money, and he's still begging for money, and you know, things are not working out for him. But the truth comes out. It just slips through the cracks. For what you say, and what you do, and whatnot.
Oh,
So,
yeah, he does.
Gentlemen, I don't lie tonight. I'm a bit concerned because this afternoon I bought a 30 pack, and I think I've drunk about 16, so I'm past halfway. I'm not sure I'm going to make. I'm not sure that I'm going to make the night.
I don't know. You know, as a matter of fact, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm on my 10th red horse.
Yeah, but you're drinking something that's like, fuck me. That's what's that? 7.5%.
Oh no, it's 6 point something. But yeah, close.
Yeah, well, mine's 4.9, so I'm still behind.
Oh man,
I'm eating a bowl of soup and drinking water.
damn, you're gay. It's a good show, man. We had a great conversation about, you know, finances, credit,
Why we left the U.S.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
Even, you know, our country's just alone in a hole that, you know, we all got similar problems, you know, while we're here. You know, it's not about hate for our country. Just, you know, we need something to change. That's all, man. God, just pay us. Pay us for the work that we do.
I agree.
Pay us decently.
Yeah. You know, and it's just all about greed, really.
Yeah, we ain't seeing this.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
it's not going to the roads. It's not going to, better housing. It's not going to, where is it going? Into a pocket.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, not in our pockets.
No, but the deal about making the rich richer, if we reround, I don't know, 200 years, okay,
But yeah,
the discussion would still be the same. It would still be the same discussion where the ordinary bloke, the guy on the street, he would still be whinging about his rent's too dear, and he can't afford this and he can't afford that and all the rest of it. Life hasn't changed that much, really. The only thing that's changed is that wealthy people get more wealthy. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
that's true. You know, um, that's the thing. I have a problem with my country. I'm not talking about any other country. My country, U.S. USA. I feel that the money's going into the government's pocket, and we're just not seeing any of it. I mean, we got cities that are just crumbling. Where do those people go? They're kicking some of our citizens out of a desert. That's the only place they can go. Build a little trailer or whatnot. A squatter area with solar power. They're not taking any power from the government. They're not taking anything from anybody. The water's from a well. But yeah, now the government is invading them and kicking them out. It's like, leave them alone, man. Jesus Christ, how much money can you possibly take?
Well, if they squeeze you dry and you fall off the perch, then somebody will take your place, and that's the way they think, right? You're not a person; you're a fucking number.
Yeah, yeah. Where's your social security number? You gotta be registered. Are you paying taxes? Oh, you're not. And you're on this free land. You need to get out.
Yeah, it's unfortunate today. Job stands for just over broke.
That's a good one.
That's about it, though. Unfortunately, and people are barely able to earn a living. It's funny. Let's watch this show. It's a few years ago. It was like one of those commentary shows. I think it was John Stossel. He's like a libertarian. He's kind of popular in the U.S., but he did this show on what happened to the middle class, and it was well, it was funny because most people's idea of the middle class, and I agreed with it, with what the middle class should look like or would look like, was the TV show Leave It to Beaver. Back in those days, that was a middle class family. You had a decent house. The husband went and worked. The wife stayed at home. How Graeme grew up, and that was people's idea of a middle class family. Well, now that would be a wealthy family, not a middle class family, but a very wealthy family.
That's right. Right. That is exactly right. That's the shift in the mentality over that last.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I heard a rumor that if we make here, or at least the United States, we're the only country. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not going to quote anything, or I'm not going to say this is gospel and it's written in the Bible. But I heard, and I haven't looked it up yet because I haven't made that much over a month. But if you make over 150 a month, we're the only country, United States, we have to pay taxes still because we're in another country. We still have to pay taxes to the United States.
I don't know. Correct? I gotta know because I have a friend who works. Actually, he gets money from the government, and he does not have to file because he doesn't make over $750 a month.
Okay. I'm still trying to figure this out. I just heard this, that we're the only country that still has to pay taxes living in another country. Whatever money we make, not donations, because I've been corrected on that. What? No, rent. You're getting a lot of donations too. yeah, that's true. I am getting donations, but I don't have to claim that. But if I make it off of YouTube and whatnot, I have to freaking claim it.
You only have to pay taxes if you make more than $750 a month. Even the U.S. government's smart enough to realize who the hell is going to be able to live overseas on $150 a month.
Okay, well, that's what I heard. That's why I want to be corrected. I'm saying it's not gospel. I didn't put it in the Bible. No, I want to know if that's the truth.
Actually, Google it. Say, how much can I legally make overseas as a U.S. citizen before I have to file taxes?
But it's still in question. You have to file taxes. Australia, you're the representative there. Do you have to file taxes if you make 700 or 1,000 or 1,500, whatever?
If you make money overseas, you still have to pay your taxes here in Australia. And there are a couple of exceptions for a few countries. I'm not sure on which countries they are. There's not many, but there's a couple of exemptions. But apart from that, for the majority, yes, you still got to pay tax here in Australia. So if I went over and did what you did, I would still have to put in a tax return here.
See, that's information I never knew when I came out here, and I think that's something that the public should know. When you come out here, you better check your government and what the laws are, because apparently, you're going to be wanted for tax evasion, and you'll find that out when you try to renew your
okay, here it
passport.
is. If you're under 65, now this is for tax year. This is this year. If you are single and unmarried and under 65, you have to file if you make over $10,350.
Okay. That's a year?
Yep. That's an entire year, which would be, let me pull up my calculator here on my laptop. See, so it'd be 10,350 divided by 12. Is $862.50.
Oh, shit, I'm getting close to that.
So.
Oh no, more than half of that is actually one of the trolls actually said you're probably living off of Chixie's channel, and yeah, he's correct. Actually, we didn't pick up her money. We still haven't even picked up her money. She's making $500, a month on her channel, and we have not picked up that money yet.
But that's why the 10,300. If you can't live off $862 a month in the U.S. That's in the U.S. Here, yes, you could, but the U.S. ain't no win. Or European countries, you couldn't either. You couldn't in Australia either, could you, Graeme? You'd probably be sleeping behind some bushes somewhere, correct? Hello? Hello?
Some calculations.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we haven't even picked up her money yet. She was having problems with her email. We just barely found out, we're at 500 on her channel. And we didn't even realize, that she was up at that, that high. But we finally got it.
But she doesn't have to file taxes.
No, that's what I said. So
not
that is void. Yeah.
So that's cool. I guess Graeme is doing some calculation.
If I hear him, that was him right there.
Probably went to get another beer.
Oh, man, you better bring me one.
Hope you didn't.
Don't be greedy.
Hope you didn't pass out.
Or fell off the table right there.
Yeah, really, that would suck.
I remember when I was drinking Bud Light, it was about that strength. Yeah, I would drink like 18, man, and I'd fall asleep. I'd just hit the table.
Mm-hmm. It's tough to make money. I mean,
it is, and I think that, no, even I want to elaborate on something. When you're overseas and you're trying to make money, it's like, you're doing everything you can. You're trying to grab sponsors, you're trying to grab, at least for me, you know, you're grabbing sponsor. I got nothing coming from the U.S. And I made this clear on JBL's channel, made it clear on Jason's channel, I made it clear on Big Ed's, or no, what's his name? Big Ed's channel. I got nothing coming in from the United States. Everything, you know, is in my savings and what I am bringing in, you know, from the channel, you know, and you know, like I say, I always thank my subscribers, because if it wasn't for you guys, I mean, geez, I'd have to dip in, and that would screw us up. But, you know, with Jixie not working and whatnot, you know, you guys are giving us a good time. Just doing our channel. I'm not the eBay, or it's called eBay. I'm not the eBay, you know, but I still get questions. No, where is really getting his money? How many times do I gotta say it? Sponsors, you guys viewing my channel, smashing that like button, and loving what we do. You know that, it's giving us a good life. But somebody seems to think there's another equation.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, Roseanne would be a middle class family. That's a middle class family nowadays.
Yeah, I'm the only one working. Yeah, you're right. That's a middle class family. I have a modest place. I'm kicking back, you know, and I sit online, and that's what I do. I make videos and keep punching them, you know. But you know that is in the Philippines. It is actually here. It's even further than, you know, because we can go out, you know, to dinner and eat. We got food in the house and whatnot. You know, just not eating off of rice and dry fish. You know what the diet is out here.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's a lot easier to make it this in America.
Ren, can I ask you a question?
Sure. Oh, Ren or me?
Yeah, no, Ren. I know the answer for you, Bubba, but for you, Ren, do you watch other Philippine bloggers? And if you do, who are they?
Used to watch Ned, but you know, I drained all this information that I possibly can, so I grew bored of that. I'm not a subscriber to Enrique. Not a fan of him. Not saying that I don't like him. You know, I just, you know, once you run into Ned, I think he's more entertaining than Enrique. That's the only thing I got. But the people I watch, ALP, because his vlogs are always so raw. I like that. That's the kind of person I am. I like raw. I watch Black American Filipino. I'm not a fan of his music that he puts on there, but you know, he's got some good information. Christopher Lane, love him. That guy really puts out some really good information. Who else? Johnny Warrior. I like watching Johnny Warrior. Sometimes his taste, you know, when he starts talking about PTSD and whatnot, you know, that's not me. So, you know, but I watch him. Bubba, of course. Yeah, I'm very selective on who I watch because to be honest, I really don't have time. It's either I'm on a radio talk show like now, or I'm sleeping, or I'm going out, I'm looking for another business venture and whatnot. So I'm out. Then I come back and I'm answering fans. So our channel really keeps us busy. I'm managing two channels, which is Gypsy's and mine. So I'm really not out there.
Well, you said a guy he's in Bahal. He's the Islander.
Bahal's very nice.
Johnny really likes him.
Let me tell you something about him, okay? He had vlogs which were, you'd call them like a family vlog. You know, the vlog that you were just putting up online to send home to your family. And they weren't designed for the masses or anything like that. And they were very, what's the word? They weren't very good, basically. And he had a couple of hundred followers. Well, in the last 8 months, he's blown that out to, I forget what he's got, 10, 12,000 followers. But it's got a formula. And if you spent, let's say, 3 days watching his videos, you would see the formula is very basic, and it's no matter how many haters come on, he leaves a positive comment against them. So if they say to him, you know, you're just an American trying to draw lights, he just comment, thanks for watching. You know what I mean? He'd never ever bite at all. And that's made him grow. And the fact that he flogs quite a lot of videos, and they're all very innocent, and they're all very, you know, they're not controversial. He doesn't pick on people. He doesn't talk about other vloggers. He doesn't do any of that sort of thing. He just talks about what he does. And it's grown exponentially. So that might be something to consider. To have a look at guys like that, because you're at about 1,200 at the moment, and that's not enough. You need to blow up, and you can blow up, and you will blow up. But just ignore all the BS and you know, march on forward, mate.
You know what? You have great advice. I mean, I've heard that from a lot of my subscribers. They're like, why are you letting these people bother you? And it's not like I'm letting them bother me. It's what's bothering me is that they attack my friends. You know, these are people that I've met. You know, Mikey 550. I met him. Johnny Warrior, I met him. These are people that I've met, and you know, attack me all you want because you got nothing on me. That's my attitude. You got nothing on me. It's just all your assumptions. It's something you just guys want to talk about, but you got nothing. You know, but you know, in the end, you know, it's just I take very offense to when you attack the military that defended our rights to talk shit. You know, certain bloggers that want to sit there and talk shit. You know, why do you have that right to talk shit? It was because people freaking spilled their blood for you to say this, you know, the venom that you want to say. You know, that's how I look at it. You know, when you go after friends that, you know, I know they're making an honest living and doing things just to better themselves. You know, it's like, why are you downing them? You know, in the end, I just kind of look at them and I go, you hide behind a computer. You can't even show me your face. You know, it's like I'm defending them. It's like I'm a big brother when I know they don't need me to be a big brother, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Ren. Yeah, all this drama and all these people attacking each other and this and that, and you know, all the manipulation and stuff. It's to me, it's just really sad.
It is sad, you know, because I've been part of the gaming community. If you guys check, it's Sprint 089, my other channel, you know, which I haven't done anything in years with that one. But I never had this much hate. That just came out of nowhere because you guys are jealous, or not you guys, but like there's certain people that are jealous because you know how to make money, because you know how to survive, because you're doing it right, because you know everything is good. So they have to speculate. Okay, now I gotta pick all these conversations apart, and it's like, damn, dude, you guys really have nothing else to do with your life. You know, that's just the part that gets me. I've never seen this much hate out of a community. And it all stemmed, you know, from PV. It all stemmed from him. This is where it all began. Now everyone is trying to manipulate him and trying to be that guy, the next PV.
Yeah, I don't know. If you think about all things in life that are good, right? All things in life that's common good, right? That everybody likes, right? Everybody fucking likes having a fuck. Everybody likes swimming in a cool river on a hot day. You know, and you could rattle on dozens and dozens of all these different things that, let's face it, it's free, right? There's no money involved, okay? Well, all these losers sit around, and the last time they had a fuck was 1999. Okay, and it lasted about 3.6 seconds.
Yeah,
That's why
that's
they're
true.
jealous, mate. That's why they're jealous, mate. And they live in a shithouse place with they don't have that cool river. They don't have that nice ocean. They don't have all the good things in life that are free. They don't have them, and that's why they're bitter, twisted fucks. I'll guarantee you that's why they're bitter, twisted fucks. I've heard a story about a place called Bakersfield. I don't know where Bakersfield is, but I'll bet you it's in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, it is. It's in the middle of the California desert, I think.
Yeah, it is. Beckettsville? Yeah.
Well, there you go. Right. So when's the last time they swam in a cool river or had a morning swim in the ocean? You know what I mean? All these things that everybody else takes for granted. All this free stuff, right? The stuff that you don't need to pay money for. I mean, seriously, I live 5 minutes, probably a 15-minute walk from the ocean. I can swim every morning if I wanted. I'm 10 minutes from a river, a freshwater river. And yeah, 1989, 1999, geez, I don't know how many times, if you count fucking five times a week. So, you know what I mean? Sex is not a big deal. These poor fucks have got none of that. Of course they're miserable, and of course they want to target anybody that pops up. That's just how it is. So,
That's
you
because they
seriously
never
got
had the balls to do what we are doing. They never had the balls to do it. Aloe is up there, I know, in Manila. I know he's over by Solano. I'm targeting him. I know exactly where he is. As a matter of fact, I met someone who knows exactly where he is. So he keeps talking. I'll just end up there. He's telling me to come to Manila because he wants to meet me at the airport. That's basically what he's telling me. No, I'll go to you, Aloe. I'll find you. I'm tracking you down. But I can tell him exactly where I'm at. I'm in Lapu Lapu. I'll tell him, right there, Second Bridge. That's where I'm at. But he won't come here. He's afraid, just like every other troll. They're afraid. I'll tell you where I'm at. Lapu Lapu, Second Bridge. Find me there. I'll meet you at the Mermaid. It's a nice bikini club. I'll meet you right there. You'll pay your way in, and I'll smash your head against the damn fucking stage. Come on, meet me there. It's only 5-minute walk from my house. But they won't do it. None of them will. But they want me to go to them. They want me to spend money so that way they can stand me up like a cheap date. So I'm not going. No, come to me. I'll tell you where I'm at.
Yeah, of course. So, like at the end of the day, the whole YouTube deal. I mean, you've only got to work it out, and Bubba will tell you. And actually, I think when you realise too, because I'm talking about a guy in particular down Dubbo, Davio, whatever the fuck it's called, where you are, Bubba, and he gets on YouTube for fun, right? He doesn't want any money. He just fucks around and and he has a good time and he's developed a few friendships.
Yeah.
So that's fine. That's fine. That's his niche within YouTube. However, if your niche within YouTube is to earn a few bucks, you've got to look at it differently. You can't be rubbed up the wrong way. You just got to ignore that shit and think about your end game, whatever your end game is. And if your end game is to earn a few dollars on the side, well, you've just got to forget about somebody in Manila. You've got to forget about the blokes that are living in their mum's basement. You just got to ignore all that and march forward. At the end of the day, it's up to you what you do. But I know that if I needed the income, I'd be worried about the income. I wouldn't be worried about whether I get butt hurt. Am I being too hard?
No, no, not at all,
No, no.
Graham. Yeah, you're right. You hit the nail on the head. there's a lot of people. That's the way I look at it. Generally, people that are miserable want to bring others down to their level.
Yes, yes, they do.
Misery loves company, and it's a saying for a reason. So I just ignore them.
I don't know, but the way I look at it, Sentai 7 is a fucking brand. It's a brand that needs to be sold, and it needs to be sold in a positive way. And just all you got to do is keep marching forward, and you will do very, very well, young man.
Just fucking reset it.
Yeah, because it's like, as long as you pay your bills, you're not out there hurting anybody. Who cares what the trolls say? Nobody cares.
No, Oscar, we never sleep.
No, not very often. Not enough. That's for sure. Dude, I keep such weird hours, man. I actually went to bed last night before 2.
Oh, right now it's right now 12 a.m. We're supposed to be at the beach at 4 a.m. So, and I'm still awake and I'm still drinking beer.
Where are you going to the beach at?
Where are we going to the beach at? But where are you at? Where are we going? Beach.
Later.
What beach name?
Marigondon.
Marigondon?
Again, what did you say?
No, come over here and say it right. Marigondon.
It almost sounds like she said Medicon Beach. I'm like, oh, that's not a beach I want to go to.
More beach.
Yeah, we're
right,
looking for a boat. That's what we're looking for.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Final boat.
Yeah, we're gonna buy. We're looking for a ship captain, and we're also looking for someone that's going to build our boat.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so have you figured out what kind of material you're going to use yet, or?
Fiberglass body. Of course, everything at the outriggings and whatnot going to be wood. It's going to cost us about $4,000 to $5,000 USD.
Okay, cool. Are you going to call it the SS Minnow?
No, it's invited. I don't want it stranded.
The island they filmed that on was actually in Hawaii.
Yeah, it was in Hawaii. Yeah, it was on Oahu, the island of Oahu.
Actually, it was some little rinky-dink island, I think, right off Oahu. Well, Hawaii's got a bunch of islands. But
yeah, it was a port. Remember where he drove off? Yeah, I saw that. I have pictures of that. Yeah. I was a fan of Gilligan's Islands. Yes, I was.
Oh, yeah. We grew up in that era. That was a funny
Ginger,
show.
That's the question. Ginger or Marianne?
Marianne.
Yeah, Marianne.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the professor, though. That guy was pretty creative.
I grew up on that shit.
A bucket of Viagra. Mr. Tuck, shut the hell up. He's trolling again.
What'd he say?
A bucket of Viagra? You want my dick?
Funny.
Marsha. Yeah. Always Marsha.
I don't understand what Professor Y meant.
Hey, for the record, Robert, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, man. Oh, we got a good crowd tonight.
Oh, yeah. It's actually grown in like the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, my point is, why aren't you guys smashing that like button? Come on, man. Give Bubba some love. Come on, guys. It takes a few seconds. Grab that. Smash it.
It's free.
I'm wondering if did somebody else have a live cast? I went live right after Dave went off because I was listening to his.
Probably Big Dave because Jason left right away, right after that. Like mid. I
Oh,
think
Big Kev.
No, Big Kev. Yeah, Big Kev. Sorry.
Yeah, could have.
Yeah, he has like a couple every day, I think.
Yeah, well, what am I doing here? Big Kev's on? Oh, I'm gonna go over there. All right,
Yeah.
guys. I'll catch you guys in a.
Yeah. Then you can listen to 5 guys get out a coherent sentence between them.
Wow.
Okay, Chixie. Oh, you leave me, Big Bubba?
How's yeah, health insurance. Now in Australia, I guess you pay the hell out of taxes, right, Graham?
Tax is very high here, yes.
Okay, so now, but the healthcare is pretty good. Like if you just say came down with the fever and went to a doctor, would there be like a small copay or?
No.
That's not bad.
No, if you were talking about emergency, if you went into a hospital and went into emergency and there's something about a bill, well, in Australia, there's no bill.
Oh, wow.
Okay, there's no bill. So if you have a car accident, you know, and you break a couple of arms or something, and you turn up in the ambulance, there's no bill. You've got to pay a bill for the ambulance. That's a separate thing. But apart from the ambulance fee, there's no hospital bill. But if you had, let's say you were going to do a bypass heart surgery or any kind of surgery, there's 2 systems, and one system is private health, and public, and the other one is public. Now, if you go into the public, which is free, you go on a waiting list. Okay, and if you go into private, you also go on a waiting list, but its list is much shorter. So if you had bowel cancer, for example, and you went private, you'd probably be operated on within 6 weeks or 2 months. If you were public, it might take 18 months.
Oh, wow.
Now, during that 18-month period, you might die. So that's the difference, and that's the incentive to get private health insurance. But it's not mandatory. You know, there is a public system, but the public system is not as good as paying for a private system.
Okay. I used to date a girl from Canada. She was from Montreal, and she was a physical therapist. This is in Florida. And she used to say, I said, so is the healthcare system good in Canada? She goes, well, for simple things and stuff like that, yes. She said, but if you need an operation that could be life-threatening, you know, like cancer or something like that, the Canadians who have the money will go down to the United States and get it done because you can get it done right away as long as you got the money rather than have to wait. So that's the way she put it, though.
You can still pay a doctor, a surgeon, say it's a heart situation, and you have to know somebody who understands that this, you know, Dr. Smith is excellent or whatever. You can make a deal with him and pay him cash. That's all. You can do that and be operated within a few days or a week or whenever it can fit you in. You can do that.
Okay.
But there is a public system that exists. So if you can't afford, you know, $120,000 for an operation, the government will pay for that for you, but you have to go on a waiting list.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, I think the
Well,
healthcare system here is probably a little bit better. It's a lot
well, not
cheaper.
really, because if you can't pay, if you can't afford to pay for it, you fucking die, don't you? In America.
Here you can. In America, no. A hospital cannot refuse you service in America. If you go to the emergency room, if you had a heart attack and you go to the emergency room, they'll do whatever it takes to save your life, regardless of whether you have the money or not.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I mean,
So,
it's how it should be like that anyway.
oh, I agree. But here, I heard it's not like that. You go to the hospital, you better have the money. But it's a lot cheaper to go to the hospital here and get something done than it is in the U.S. But in the U.S., that is one good thing. If you get like in a car accident and you're all tore up, and they have to stitch you back together and put you on a what they call shock trauma, which is a helicopter will come and they'll load you up in a helicopter and fly you to well, where I lived at, they would fly you to Tampa or St. Peter's.
Whatever the moment is gone. Okay. What you still around, man? What's sitting here with Pat Malone? For Christ's sake. Well, I don't know. Should I sing a song? All right, folks.
Oh, I'm still here. I
Are
don't
you
know where he.
still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, he'll be back, I guess.
Yeah, I don't see him. I think his wife unplugged him.
That could be.
I got my lady walking around. Where are you going? She's still dressing up in a dress. What's his name?
See, healthcare is a bit of an odd issue because
I'll return my
people assume that they're not going to hurt themselves, but they do.
If I will not return it, they will deduct it from my last pay. I need to return my headphones.
So you're going all the way to over there to what? Was it? We're talking about Walmart. Oh my gosh, Walmart. Only people that are garbage go to Walmart. No offense to anyone that goes to Walmart, but you know damn well, Jesus Christ, you got the worst of the worst that go there.
Yeah, but
I only go. I only go there during Black Friday. I get the best deals because then you have the right to punch everybody out, get into the damn, the what do you call it, the department you want to.
what you were talking about earlier about people that can't afford to do, they can't afford to live properly. Isn't Walmart a system of that?
It's a major food slash clothing slash electronic store. They pay their employees very cheaply and treat them bad. This is rumors. I never worked there. I worked for Safeway. I worked for a Safeway grocery store. That's where
Yeah,
I was.
what I'm saying is that the customers are a system of that poverty
You look
that
very good,
exists in
but
America.
bring you more beer.
Man, you're a cunt.
Wait, give me 1 second.
What?
'Cause, he's leaving. What?
You're a
Yes,
cunt.
you look
I'm
good.
going to
Go.
go get my own
I'm in a
beer.
radio talk show.
Go hell.
Oh my god, my girl's fucking retarded. Yeah. So what is it? Safeway on White and Story? No. No. That was more down south.
All right, Ren, you sing a song while I go get another beer, okay?
Yeah, okay. Good deals on ammo and sometimes. No, they're talking about Walmart and Safeway. Let me see. Tok Tok. I worked at Safeway on Bradham and Snail. That's where I was. What's up, Professor? Just reading the comments now. You know where that is? It's on the south side. It's over by Santa Teresa. Yeah, Santa Teresa.